Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Claim What's Yours. I'm Vaughan Reinecker and I wanted to have a chat with you today just about the end of our week. Typical life in a short-term commercial insurance broker in Johannesburg in Gauteng. So the weather's been a bit fresh, so I'm wearing all the big jackets. Hopefully we're starting to see a bit of a turn in the weather. But as far as an insurance goes, or as far as a commercial insurance goes, been an interesting week for us. We've had a couple of things done. We've been quite successful. We've been talking to quite a lot of our executive personal lines clients and have been renegotiating the premiums. So we've done an exercise looking at our short-term personal lines clients to see whether the clients were paying market-related premiums. So you know what the cover is, but we just wanted to see, has there been a slow and steady creep by the insurers where they're charging too much premium? So we've done an exercise, and I must say it's quite surprising. There has been quite a big difference in the premiums offered by alternate insurers. So obviously the holding insurer is quite happy to keep the business at those rates. But as a broker, our job is to make sure that we look after our clients, and they must get the best cover at the most reasonable premium. So not necessarily the cheapest premiums. So we just had one this morning. We found our client, been a long-time client of ours, and successfully let him know that we've managed to save a third of his premium on his personal lines policy. Not an expensive policy, not fancy covers, but the difference in the premiums is substantial. So the saving that this client is potentially going to make by either negotiating with his insurer to reduce or align their premiums or to move to another leading insurer in the market is 2,000 Rand a month. And that's a lot of money, 24,000 Rand. That's a couple of beers, a couple of braais, or a holiday money. I mean, so unfortunately that is what happens on personal and commercial policies, and it's our job as your broker to make sure that we look into that stuff so that you're getting a fair deal. So we'll be corresponding with our client and with the insurer to negotiate at best. We'll let them know. So quite a successful week from that point of view. It does reduce our income, but it keeps our client happy, and that's all we're here for. So if you are in a similar position or you'd like to find out whether your personal lines or your commercial premiums are in fact market related, please don't hesitate to call us. Contact us on our email addresses in the links, or send us a note on our business WhatsApp account, or correspond with us on Facebook or on our YouTube channels. Then the other things this morning, so end of the month, happy to say that everybody got their salaries, and of course we have to pay the receiver their money, UIF and Skills Development Levy. So everybody's been paid, and pay the money with a smile. So my team and the staff that we have here, we're very happy with the work that they do. They know who they are. I'm not sure they can mention their names, but anyway. So they know who they are, and they look after our clients, and we must look after them. So I always believe don't be late with money. Make sure that when you agree to pay people, we pay them on time. So that's what we did this morning. Then we were looking at a couple of other things. We're busy assisting a client with a marine claim. So interesting story here. Our client had an export shipment, major client in South Africa, had an export shipment into Europe, and the shipment en route got damaged, and it appears as though the shipment was damaged in transit before it arrived at final destination. And now we're trying to gather the documents to show where in fact the damages occurred. So we've spoken to the local freight forwarding agent, a South African company, who had then contracted the use of a foreign company overseas to undertake the second leg or the last leg of the delivery. And that's where we've reached a bit of an impasse. So we're trying to, it's obviously a different language, and now we're trying to get the information from the European-based freight forwarding company. So the ship would have arrived at the dock, the container was offloaded, and the container was then supposed to be uplifted and delivered to the client in Europe. There was a delay. We don't know why there was a delay. The documents show there was a delay. Now we're trying to find out, was there a delay? Was the ship delayed before it arrived? Was there a delay at the dock? Was there a strike? Was there inclement weather? Because that's the insurance company needs to know that information. So we've been speaking to our client here. We've been chatting to the freight forwarding agent, and they seem to be quite upset with us, upset with our client certainly, that the client has to put in a claim against them because that's a condition of the policy. The policy says that the insurance company insists the client put in a formal priced claim against the shipping company or the freight forwarders, because if they did cause, through their negligence, damage to that item, the shipping company are allowed to, or the insurance company are allowed to claim from the shipping company. The local shipping company seems to have taken umbrage at that. They shouldn't. It's not personal. It happens on every single event. And the insurance company insists on it, otherwise they can't pay the claim. So that's where we are on that particular matter. The rest of the week, we'd managed to migrate a couple of policies across from one insurer through to another. And I know I'd posted another podcast a little bit earlier, but over 3 companies, there's 3 companies that we did a market-related exercise on. And those 3 companies, through our expertise, skill, knowledge of the market and the insurance policies, managed to, giving them the same cover. So let me make sure that I confirm that. We gave them the same cover, and in fact, in certain instances, better cover. So we didn't reduce the premiums just to save money. We reduced the premiums to make them market related, but we didn't take away cover. That's quite important. Between those 3 companies, commercial companies, we managed to save those companies a combined 700,000 Rand in premium. 700,000 Rand for the same cover, just by asking the right questions, approaching the market, making sure that the client's getting a fair deal. So from our point of view, been a very successful week for us and for those clients, commercial clients that we've been working on, as well as the personal lines clients that we've been working on. And we'd be very happy to do the same for you. Me and my team in the office, we'd like to do the same for you. If you'd like to know more, please like, subscribe, send us an email, and we will gladly come and visit you and have a look at your short-term personal or commercial insurances. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.